So the last topic is control process. So it is the process by which management assures that actual activities conform to the plan activities, that is scheduled versus actual, that is standard activities performance which is being measured with the actual performance. So this controlling is the managerial process for measuring progress towards planned performance and when required taking corrective actions. Some of the importance of control is adapting to the changing conditions, minimizing mistakes and errors, coping with the organization complexity and minimizing the cost. These are the control process. First, it has to establish the standards, then measure the performance of the employees or overall performance, then compare the performance with standard. That is what I said in the previous. Measuring the exact actual performance with the standard performance which is being fixed. Then evaluating performance and taking actions if there is corrective actions needed. So, in order that it may be maintain the status quo, correct the deviations and change the standards. Some of the requirements of the effective control system is timeliness, accuracy, objective and comprehensiveness, economically realistic, organizationally realistic, then focused on strategic control points, coordinated with the organizational workflow, prescriptive and operational, accepted by organization members, and flexibility. Next, we'll move on to the topic grievances. Grievances is dissatisfaction which is being addressed to the management. So, according to Michael J. Lucius defines grievance as any discontent or dissatisfaction, whether exposed or not, whether valid or not, arising out anything connected with the company with an employee thinks, believes, or even feels to be unfair, unjust, and inequitable. Some of the causes of grievances are demands for individual wage adjustments, complaints about the existing incentive system, complaints about job classification, and complaints against a particular foreman or a worker. Then promotions, if they feel dissatisfied with the promotion, violation of contracts relating to the collective bargaining, improper job assignment, and transfer from one department to another department. These are the steps in grievance procedure. That is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4. First, complain to the section head, immediate section head. If yes means the grievance is resolved, and if it is not means again complaining to the department head. First section head, then department head. Then if the grievance is solved, fine. Then if it is not solved, again they go for complaint. No means complain to the divisional head manager. Then if it is solved, okay, grievance solved. If it is not solved, again complain to the union. Next is the employee discipline. So where employees behavior whose behavior is appropriately disruptive and of performance is unacceptable. These problematic employees may be regularly due to these following reasons, like late for work, have excessive absenteeism, and fight with their co-workers, consume drugs on the job, refuse to obey the boss order or superior's order, violating the safety rules of the organization, or engaging in other similar degradations. So, under these circumstances, management must immediately take a disciplinary action against them. Some of the types of or forms of discipline are preventive discipline, a positive discipline. Corrective discipline is known as a negative discipline. So, preventive discipline is action taken to encourage the employees to follow the standards and rules so that infractions are prevented. Corrective disciplines is an action that follows a rule infraction, seeks to discourage further infractions so that future acts are in compliance with standard. If they make any mistake, they have to correct their mistakes here. So that is corrective or negative discipline. Types of discipline problems, where I have already said in the previous slides, due to attendance, unexcused absence without prior information, leaving without permission, and on-the-job behaviors like fail to obey the rules of the organization, safety rules, sleeping in the job during their work hours, fighting with their co-workers, peer groups, then dishonest, clock punching another's time card that is a fraudulent one, and concealing defective work. So that is also a problematic one, dishonest to the organization. Then outside activities like indulging in criminal activities, wage garnishments, and working for a competing company. So he'll be working in one company and he'll be supporting the opponent competing company, telling all the secrets about the present organization. Approaches to discipline, there are 3 famous approaches to discipline: hot stove rule, progressive discipline, and counseling. This is a very important question, hot stove rule. We'll see much in detail in the next slide. Hot stove rule is the guide for corrective discipline in the hot stove rule. Hot stove is the is that touching a hot stove is very typical for us and it creates harm. So the hot stove rule states that disciplinary action should have the same characteristics as the penalty a person received from touching a hot stove. If you touch a hot stove, how it will be? Then the penalty also should be in such a way, or disciplinary action should in such a way. The 4 characteristic consequences that discipline should be with warning, either warning or immediate, and then consistent and impersonal. We'll move on to the next discipline is progressive discipline. Is an approach in which sequence of penalties is administered, each one slightly more severe than the previous one. First they'll give a minimal penalty, then the punishments will be much severe. When it the same happening again and again, it will be more severe. Then progressive discipline is also gives management time to work with the employee to help correct infractions. If he is facing any problems or infractions, he can correct immediately with the current penalty. If he is not, again he is repeating, means then the severe punishment will be given. Last one is the progressive discipline, progression. So typical, this is the diagrammatic representation of typical progressive discipline system. So first offense, so they'll give a verbal caution in word of mouth they'll tell. Then again second offense, written and reprint. Then they'll send a memo to him in a written format. Then third offense is suspension, immediate suspension from the job. And when it goes to the, again he repeats, then it will be a fourth offense, then demotion. So from the current hierarchy level, he will move to the lower level with the salary reductions and low salary. Then at last, if he again continues, then he will be dismissed from the job. He will be sent out of the organization. Last topic is about the redressal approach or counseling approach. The counseling is very important for an employee if he is feeling defective or if he is feeling he is not up to the mark. So counseling, mentoring is very important here. So counseling approach is a fact-finding and guiding approach. So he guides, find out the faults, he guides the employee, and instead of retaliatory, and in this manner the employee's self-image and dignity are retained. So he can openly tell the counselor or the mentor what the problem he is facing in the organization, whether it can be of the environment or peer groups or based upon his denial in promotions or any other personal family problems. And the supervisor-employee relationship remains a rapport one and a cooperative and constructive one for the organizational productivity increase. So for these reasons, when the cooperative and constructive relationship between the supervisor and employee, or employer and employee relationship, then finally the organization will be succeeded. So these are some of the counseling approach and redressal approach for the employees, or the causes, grievances and redressal approaches. So this video comes to an end. Thank you for listening to the video patiently. Happy learning. All the best for your exams.